Well, I had one letter left over from my sign project, the Ken's Place sign, and so I decided to do something else and do another little project. So I've been making up these little block letters, and you can see here it turned out pretty good. I'm using my little cheapo Harbor Freight metal brake here. And what you do is you place that in there, and you know, it's just real simple. Get it squared up and line this top piece with the crack there in the bottom where it bends. Clamp it down and then just bend it up, and you get some nice tight right angles that way. You get some pretty nice tight corners, if you can see that. And of course it goes a little past the 90, and then you straighten it back up. It's pretty good, as you can see. And this one I did all in one piece of material like this. Started in here, and you measure it out really good and bend it right on your mark, and come up and bend it again the other way here and over. And so this one all the way around, you can see there, that's just a solid piece, and goes all the way around. It connects right there, and that was all one piece. You can't always do that because some of this one's in two sections. I did it from here around into here in one piece, and then I did this in one piece, because if you get too many bends like that, then it starts to, you know, roll up on itself, and you can't quite fit it all on there. But anyway, that's something I've been working on here, but I got something else to show you guys. Fire in the hole. I do believe my pants are on fire. Dirt rattler up. Well, here a while back, I did a video about that clock I made from the front section of the front fender on that old 57 Cadillac. And I had it up here on the wall, and I've since moved it, but my friend George, Shade Tree Fix-It Man, he spotted something and he pointed it out. He said, yeah, it's a nice clock, but he said, I like the wood behind it too. Well, him being a carpenter, he spotted this old barn wood. Well, it's not really barn, it's not off a barn. They call it barn wood, but it's just cedar, you know, cedar fencing that's weathered. So he spotted that, and what I haven't shown you guys is that I've been doing a little remodel here in my old shop, and I told you in the last video that I had something kind of under wraps that I was waiting to show you. Kind of waiting until I got it put together, and now's the time. So I'm going to show George and the rest of you how I carried this theme kind of throughout here. Here's what happened. See, I figure a guy ought to clean his shop once every 20 years, and I had not cleaned my shop thoroughly, deeply, since I built it. And this is amazing, the stuff that a guy can carry in over a 20-year span. And I've got a video where me and my son was out here playing music when this shop was fairly new. It's pretty interesting to look in the background and see how clean this shop is, how there's hardly anything in here. Hi, Sparks. decided to clean my shop, and boy, I mean, I cleaned it too. Throwing stuff away, stuff that I don't need anymore, and just cleaning and organizing, trying to, and then getting rid of a lot of junk. And I kind of wanted to get all my parts for the rat rod that I'm building kind of staged in one area, so I'm not running all over the place looking for stuff. But let me tell you what happens now when I start cleaning my shop, and when my OCD kicked in, and my ADD, and probably a few other abbreviations that I'm afflicted with and I may not even be aware of. When all that gets in motion, look out, man. I mean, there's gonna be something happen, you know. So, and something did happen around here. But when you embrace your ADD like I do, and RP's got it too, you know, and I think he'd agree with me that it's a blessing when you embrace it, because you can get a lot done. You know, I don't own the TV, and I don't know if he does. I think he does, but he don't watch it. He don't spend a whole lot of time sitting around watching TV, because that guy's on the move, you know, and I am too. For a couple of old guys, man, we get some stuff done. We get a lot done, and I appreciate people like that, because it feels kind of like a brotherhood, you know, like an OCD brotherhood or something like that. But anyway, that's what happened. I started cleaning my shop, and I'll show you the results here coming up. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say about that, except I appreciate you. Stay tuned. Y'all have seen the clock, but I moved it over to this wall, mounted it under the old dash there, that old Chevy cow. That is a pre-1929, I know that because it had a 4-cylinder in it, and 29 was the first year Chevy built the 6-cylinder. But even that old 4-cylinder had overhead valves, wasn't a flathead. So just kind of videoing this, give you going a little slower here and give you a good look at everything. This little thing I built a couple years ago, just a little man cave item, I guess. The other old relics hanging up there. A few things that some YouTubers have sent me over the years. And oh, and these hubcaps came from Mr. Heavy Chevy. Sent me those, and they signed them, and that was happened when One Lonely Farmer was down there, and you know, let me zoom in there. Leave it to Wes to sign his upside down. You know, the rest of them are Dodge up, but no. Wes is upside down. There's Mrs. Heavy Chevy, and Mr. Heavy Chevy, and Little Miss. Pretty cool. And Noah's car, it's up there just for winter. Just got it stored up there. I just put it up there because I think it's kind of cool looking. And when he wants to play with it in the spring, we'll get it down off there. But he's more interested in the go-kart now because it's got a motor on it, and I can't blame him. I mean, after all, you know, got a little hot rodder in the making there. He's already approached me about tuning it up because I've got the governor set so low on it now, it just creeps down the driveway. And he approached me at Christmas time when I was over there about turning that thing up a little so it'll go a little faster. I got a kick out of that. And I mounted a amber bulb in that old headlight bucket there. Just thought that was be kind of a cool thing to do with it. And John Wayne's peeking out from behind the toolbox there. I've got pretty much all my rat rod stuff staged over here on these shelves. Stuff for this rig here, and I have not been using it a lot lately. I haven't been working on the rat rod, but I'm going to get back on that here next week. I got a couple of jobs to go look at first part of the week, and then I'm going to get back on the rat rod. I know some of you don't care anything about these videos unless it is of the rat rod. I really can't blame you, but anyway, that's coming up, guys, so be patient with me. That sign is part of the Skookum sign that was down here in Wenatchee. It was a packing shed for the apples years ago, and I drove a straddle truck hauling that fruit into the packing shed for off and on for 15 years. Skookum is a Native American word meaning the best. So I found that out at the wrecking yard where I got that nose for that old Dodge truck, and I told the guy that I drove for Skookum, and that was part of my history, and he gave me that sign. I'm sorry I left the door open there. That's going to make a glare, but just give you an idea kind of what's going on here. Kind of bought some new storage bins and moved the refrigerator over here closer to the apartment. There's a little refrigerator in there, but it just made more sense to have it over here, and move my carpentry stuff over there, my paint and whatnot. But yeah, just kind of giving you a little look around here. Let me see if I can get rid of that glare. Well, that didn't help a whole lot because the glare is coming from the light behind me. But anyway, you can see what that is. That's an aerial photo of Ken's place. We used to call this the Hillbilly Workshop, but I think we're going to give it a new name now that we've done the remodel here. I think we're going to call it the Rat Hole. Welcome to the Rat Hole. I've still got some finishing touches, some things to finish up here. I'm going to trim that door. I didn't paint those side rails there where the hinges are because I'm going to trim that out, and a different color. I've got some brown over here that I used on the stairs and a few places. And if any of y'all have any questions about the color choice here, I can answer it. It's because it's what I had. You know, it's what was sitting on the shelf. As a matter of fact, you know, this rat rodding thing is kind of, the whole concept is loosely based on using what you have and run what you brung, you know. And I kind of carried that on into this remodel here. That cedar fencing, that board that's on the wall, I've had that laying around here for several years. Gonna do something with it someday, you know. Well, someday finally arrived. We had a windstorm here in Wenatchee a few years ago that blew down a lot of fences and took off some roofing material around town. And I built 3 fences that year, rebuilding for my friends. And of course, I got to carry off all the old wood. And so I decided to use it on the walls here. And that's what you see. And then the color, you know, like I said, that's just what I had, but it does brighten it up in here a little bit. I mean, yellow, I don't know, that may be a little bit too foo-foo for old Chevaholic, but it brightens it up in here. And so that answers the question if you had one about why use that color. And if you have any complaints about it, just write it on an index card and send that off to Cutworm, and he'll take care of you. So I gotta close that door. Gotta zoom in on this one thing here. I just love that one. That looks a little bit like the dash on my old '63 GMC, but this is Chevrolet here of that era, and it looks like somebody beat on the dash trying to get the fuel gauge to work and broke it. And I love how the keys have scratched on the dash and scratched that all up. I need to rebuild that old guitar and get the neck reset on it so it'll play a little better. But anyway, that's another project. 100 car pile up, number 10. That's the last one they had. And so me and my buddy Bob went to that, and then Bob gave me this one. And these are just coffee bean sacks. Of course, the Impala and Novelist 10 gave me that little rat rod up there that he built. Well, that's just about it for this time, folks, and I really do appreciate you stopping by. You know, this shop is where I live. This is my living room. This is where I'm the happiest. Kind of like old Hot Rod Ronnie says over there at the freaking Eagle. You know, he says, "Hey man, I'm living my dream." You know, and that's kind of the case here. I'm living my dream. It don't take much to make me happy. And you give me a cutting torch and some metal and a big hammer and man, there's just no place I'd rather be than right here. I'm kind of like old Brown, you know. My expectations and aspirations are not too high. I talked to him the other day, and he was telling me that the lottery's up to $800 million. He had 2 tickets, and I said, well, what are you going to do if you win all that money? And you know, some of you will remember he left here, headed for Arkansas, and if you don't know, I'm on the West Coast. And it looked like something from the Grapes of Wrath. he pulled out here in that old 1975 Winnebago and headed across the country, you know, and I go, oh Lord, I hope he makes it past halfway, or else I'd have to go get him if he broke down, because that's just how it is. He'd do it for me, and I'd do it for him. But he made it. Anyway, that old 1975 Winnebago, oh man. I said, well, what are you gonna do if you win that lottery? And he said, man, I'm upgrading my motorhome to about a 1980 model. And so, you know, that's kind of the way it is here. I don't care nothing about being rich. I heard a guy say, a rich man one time said this. He said, it's not how rich are you, how rich is your life. Man, I'm rich beyond compare in that respect. So I just wanted to say, again, thanks for coming by here, and I've got something else coming up here pretty soon that I think y'all gonna like. I think we might have to do a drawing, put everybody's name in the hat, you know, and draw something out, but I'm gonna get into that in the next video, because I've got a couple of things here that might make some pretty good little first and second prizes, and I got to come up with a 3rd place, but we'll do that. We'll do that coming up. See you next time. Appreciate you. Matter of fact, I talked to old Brown the other day, and we were kind of discussing that. You know, cut. Well, that's it for this time, folks. I sure do appreciate you stopping by, and I wanted to tell you a thing in here. Hi, Sparks. Come here. You're all right. Anyway, yeah, so that's all changed. I really filled this place up. And sorry I got distracted. Got a little CAT scan going on there. So, yeah, I think that's all I want to say about that.